What's up, everybody? GeauxBurns doing another Discuss video. And with all the Discuss videos, at the end of this video, I will give you guys the Discuss topic for next week, and you will have till the end of this Friday to submit your Discuss idea, in case you were wondering how it works. By the way, if you have a suggestion for a future Discuss video, you can leave that below in the comment section as well. Or you can tweet it to me, Facebook me, or email me, GeauxBurns@gmail.com. And if I like your Discuss ideas, I will definitely use them in future videos, future topics in the Discuss series. So today's video is obviously about Grand Theft Auto TV movie ideas. Now, the idea for this topic came a few weeks ago when Take-Two was acquiring names for like movies, TV shows of their IPs, like across 2K, Hangar 13, Rockstar, for example, like the Mafia franchise or the Red Dead franchise, or in this case the Red Dead franchise. The idea is quite possible in the future we will see movie versions or TV show versions of these popular video games, and perhaps even some others within the 2K Take-Two empire. So I thought it would be a cool idea to see some ideas you may have regarding Grand Theft Auto. How would that look? How would that feel on the big screen, or the small screen, or on Netflix? What would you come up with? And basically, I gave you guys a wide berth. You guys could use characters that already exist in the HD or 3D universe, along with cities, settings, etc. Or you could go wild and crazy and come with something completely original. Well, all of you came up with, well, not exactly original, but it's okay, it's fine. It was your ideas. It's what you would like to see on TV or on the big screen. So what's interesting is now it feels like that the ideas that I got from you are 50-50. Half of you want something, and the other half of you want something else. So I'm going to go through all your ideas, and then we'll discuss them as we go along. But a lot of them are going to seem very, very similar because it feels like this fell into two groups, this group and that group. Now, we're going alphabetically. First off with Brian Martinez off of Twitter. Hi, GeauxBurns. My idea for a Grand Theft Auto movie or TV show is to star Scarlett Johansson in the GTA movie set in the Vice City in the 80s and get Ray Liotta to play Tommy. Now you can see one of the directions the ideas are going to go. It's kind of like, I guess, a state of consciousness where a lot of people have the same idea, the same thing they would like to see happen. And this is one faction, the Vice City faction, as I'm calling you. And yes, I love Ray Liotta. He's freaking awesome. I've yet to watch the new TV show he's in with Jennifer Lopez, but I hear it's like really good. It's what called Shades of Blue. But I mean, anything with like Ray Liotta in it's got to be awesome. And I guess Jennifer Lopez has her moments as well. But I hear it's a good show. But anyways, see, I don't know. I feel like this is a good idea because Ray Liotta is definitely Tommy and Tommy's definitely Ray Liotta. But Ray Liotta is a lot older now than he was when he originally voiced Tommy back in the early 2000s. So I don't know if it would work putting, an older Tommy Vercetti in 1980s. Maybe, speed up the timeline a little bit. Maybe several years later, and by now Ray Liotta's character, Tommy Vercetti, is, the undisputed kingpin, the mob boss of Vice City, and maybe Scarlett Johansson is his daughter, or maybe she's a cop that's going to take him down. You could go either way. Maybe I think I kind of like the idea of a daddy-daughter thing going on there. They have kind of like a friction because GTA is kind of a satire, kind of a dark comedy. Some humor there, and I could see that little back and forth between Tommy and his daughter Scarlett. So it could work, Brian. So that's the way I would see this vision of an older Tommy Vercetti. And always having to deal with his daughter, trying to take over the family business. It could be good. It would be very, very interesting, to say the least. Next, we go to Can't Think of a Name off of YouTube. Let's see. Okay, yeah, okay. So eventually, can't think we will do a similar topic revolved around the Red Dead franchise and obviously the Mafia franchise. I'm not going to do them like back to back to back. I'm going to kind of like pepper them out with other discussed topics down the road. But eventually, yes, you'll have your moment to give me your ideas regarding a Red Dead or TV series movie for Mafia. So let's table your idea for Red Dead for a future discussed video. And yes, you'll have to resubmit that part. But anyways, continuing. For GTA, I'd prefer a 3D universe to be in the setting. I'd love it to focus on Tommy, telling his backstory in Liberty City. So what Can't Think would like is Tommy Vercetti prequel to Vice City, which would be kind of cool as well. In death leading up to his arrest, his journey down to and taking over Vice City, and maybe sometime later in his life in older years. Again, not sure who should play a younger Tommy, but I think Ray Liotta should play him in the later years. And Tarantino or Scorsese or Brian Del Palma should direct. So, once again, getting Ray Liotta on board to be Tommy Vercetti, a brilliant idea. Well, the other issue is, who are you going to cast to be a younger version of Tommy Vercetti? Are you going to do kind of like the mocap thing and just de-age Ray Liotta with a body double with someone that has a similar build that Ray Liotta had when he was younger? Or are you going to go like they're doing with the new Star Wars Han Solo movie and cast somebody completely different? Interesting idea there regarding another Tommy Vercetti-centric Grand Theft Auto movie. And like I said, regarding the Red Dead TV idea, just resubmit it in a few weeks or a month from now whenever I propose that as the next discussion topic down the road. Can't think. Sorry. Next, we move on to Elaine. For GTA series, I think it would be awesome to see a TV show involving Trevor. I can see it as being like a Breaking Bad, Sons of Anarchy hybrid type of show. So here's the other group. You have one group that wants, movies or TV shows revolved around Tommy Vercetti, and the other group revolved around Trevor, of course, played by Stephen Ogg, who's become quite popular as of late. He's currently in The Walking Dead. He's also in Westworld, and the guy is Trevor. And Trevor is him. So I'm on board with a Trevor movie. GTA Trevor. I would just love to see that in whatever form or faction. But they have to have Stephen Ogg play Trevor because, like Ray Liotta with Tommy Vercetti, you can't have anyone else play the role. All right, so next we go to Kevin Boston. Now, Kevin submitted 2 ideas. And in the future, I ask you guys to only submit 1 idea per person. But there really wasn't many other submissions besides a couple other guys. So I will allow it this time, Kevin and everybody else. But in the future, whenever we're discussing like an expansion idea or a TV, movie idea, etc., for a future discussed topic, just please try and keep it focused on 1 instead of 2 or 3 or 20, okay? Just like whenever I do Q&A, I prefer you guys giving me 1 question per person. That way I can get like everybody's question submitted and answered within the Q&A series. The same thing for the Discuss series. All right, so here is Kevin Boston's ideas. A novel. Hooray! Go get some popcorn. So my ideas are, well, the best would be to do a movie about Grand Theft Auto 5, keep it in Los Angeles, a.k.a. Los Santos. It can't be Los Angeles. It has to be Los Santos. You got to keep the fictional version of the city if we're going to do a Grand Theft Auto movie. Have all the voice actors who do Michael, Trevor, Franklin, do their respective characters. I agree with that entirely. That would be really cool. But at the same time, I really feel like that would be either a sequel to Grand Theft Auto 5 or a complete rehash of the game itself, the main story. Basically, he wants that. Basically, he says every version of the storyline in the game I think would be amazing. In the storyline, I mean the story mode in a game, except the idea that it could happen in a movie did not happen in the game. Give us more background information on Michael, Trevor, and Franklin. Another idea that people have been asking to have is a game, but most likely will never happen. The game have cameo appearances from iconic characters like Tommy Vercetti, Nico Bellic, CJ. Would be very interesting to see where CJ is all these years later. Also show Michael, Trevor, Franklin 20 to 30 years after the events of Grand Theft Auto 5 when they're old and in nursing homes. I don't know about that, but anyways. Okay, so his other idea, let's talk about your other idea, Kevin, is he wants a Grand Theft Auto San Andreas movie, what happens with CJ when he was in Liberty City. So kind of a prequel movie to Grand Theft Auto San Andreas with CJ living it up in Liberty City. Showed what happened before when you went to Liberty City. Another idea would be Grand Theft Auto 4 movie, our TV show. See, this is the issue here. So many freaking ideas, Kevin. I mean, I like the fact you got ideas, but like I said, guys, in a future episode, please limit it to one idea. And it could be a long idea. It can be, well thought out in a paragraph or a couple paragraphs, but as long as it's one idea, just saying. So basically, his other ideas regarding Grand Theft Auto 4 revolved around Nico or Roman. So, so there's his ideas right there. One for Grand Theft Auto 5, one for CJ from Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, and of course, one for Grand Theft Auto 4 revolved around Nico and Roman. And finally, we go to Sedan. I think Grand Theft Auto is better for an interactive media, but if I had to make a series, it would be The Adventures of Trevor Phillips. So see, he's falling into the whole Trevor camp as well, along with Elaine and myself. I just think it's a brilliant idea. I think that, Stephen Ogg is a character in himself. And have you guys seen that video that he did where he actually played Trevor Phillips in a short video that was kind of like a VR version of Grand Theft Auto? It's fucking hilarious. And if I find it, I'll link it below in the description section, or I'll put it up in the card section. But it's fantastic, and basically he's playing Trevor in real life in a VR world. It's funny as hell. The special effects not so good, but it's still good. Set in Sandy Shores before the events of Grand Theft Auto Online, following Stephen Ogg as he terrorized the town from the Lost to the Aztecas to random people living there. The villain is the mayor or sheriff who just wants to, quote-unquote, make Sandy Shores great again. I wonder where you got that one from, Sedan. I have no idea. Just have lots of crazy interactions between Trevor and random people. I want him to steal a golf cart, huff gas, wake up in a woman's dress on the side of the mountain. I think the show would be hilarious if it's not done too seriously. I also thought about Vice City or Grand Theft Auto 4 as more serious drama films or miniseries like Band of Brothers, but I think Grand Theft Auto has a certain self-aware humor about it, and its more serious films or series wouldn't be able to capture it. That's why I think Adventures of Trevor Phillips, because humor, cannibalism, and maybe throwing some flashbacks of his old days with Michael Townley when they were still robbing banks in North Yankton. So I think, personally, that would be the winner in my opinion, because Stephen Ogg's still capable of, not only, voicing Trevor Phillips, but also looking the part as well. Whereas Ray Liotta's a little bit older now. I don't know. I mean, even back in the early 2000s, I don't think he was as young as he was whenever he did Goodfellas. But that's besides the point. If I have to pick one, I'm going with Grand Theft Auto Trevor. Because I would just love to see that, even if it's just like a TV series on Netflix or even a movie. As long as it's better than that Ron Howard Grand Theft Auto movie, which I never watched, but I heard it wasn't very, very good. Not at all. So, yeah, I would definitely like to see that as my Grand Theft Auto movie. And that was already my idea before you guys submitted your ideas. So, yes, a prequel revolved around Trevor Phillips, set in between the events of, when Michael Townley allegedly died, and obviously before Grand Theft Auto Online, because Grand Theft Auto Online story is set several months before Grand Theft Auto 5. So it'll be interesting to see where Trevor is in between point A and point B in that timeline. So anyways, thank you all for submitting your ideas for this discussed topic. And admittedly, I know it wasn't the best. That's my fault. Sometimes I come up with a good idea for a discussed video. Sometimes I don't, which is why at the beginning of this video, I asked for your suggestions, because sometimes even I could use a little help from my subscribers. But next week should be a little bit more interesting. We're going to be doing a discussed video on Mafia 3 expansion ideas. Now, coming up in a few weeks from now is the first of the 3 expansions for Mafia 3, Faster Baby, which I'm very much looking forward to, and I'll definitely be Let's Playing, along with the other 2 expansions as well. But if you could come up with your own idea, and I said idea, not plurals, not multiple expansions, one idea for an expansion for Mafia 3, what would it be? Be sure and either let me know below in the comment section, via Twitter, Facebook, or email, GeauxBurns@gmail.com. And you have till this Friday to submit it to be included in next week's discussed video.